Thank you, Peter. Now it's your time, ladies and gentlemen, and those that have joined us online. We will alternate questions between people here in person and those that are joining us online. So question number one, Sandra, I think you were first at the mic, so please go ahead.
Good morning. Thanks for the presentation.
Oh,
Peter.
sorry, just introduce yourself. I'm
Sure.
sorry.
My name is Sandra Cripps. I'm the CEO for the Saskatchewan Association for Safe Workplaces and Health. Thanks for the presentation. I really applaud all the work that you've done on looking at your rate model. One of the things that I was curious about listening to your presentation, Peter, when you look at the reduction in claims and that 10-90% under the administration piece, I'm wondering if in the out discussions with individual industries or even at this point, is there any consideration being given to look at that administrative cost a little differently around if you have reduced costs, maybe the claims area isn't, the utilization of that 90% is different today than it was, say, 3 or 4 years ago? Because I know we've heard many times that organizations with safety associations tend to do better, and I think we're doing a really good job, but is there any consideration to reallocate any of that 24% towards that other small 6% piece of the pie to invest further in your safety associations? Just a thought.
Okay, I'm not sure I'm going to try and answer your question, but I'm not sure I got it, okay? So the new model is shifting that 10% and 90% to 30% fixed and 70% variable, right? So if your utilization, if your claims costs are going down, you're going to be paying a smaller proportion of the overall administration costs than you were under the old model.
Right.
If your costs are going up, you're going to be paying a greater proportion of those variable costs than you have been in the past. So through the new model, through that change to the new model, we are trying to recognize that some employers make greater utilization of our system than other employers and charge them proportionately more of those variable costs. In terms, I'm not sure, you talked about the 6%, and the 6% related to what we invest in safety and prevention. Again, lion's share being OH&S,
yes,
safety associations, and then a very small amount for our own WorkSafe program. If you're talking about shifting some of the 24 into the 6, I'm not sure how we would actually do that. It's possible if we find opportunities for greater investment in health and safety, it's possible that 6% could become a greater percentage, which will just naturally shrink the 24%. But I don't see a way of actually pulling money out of one category of administration costs and dumping it into our health and safety. My board has been extremely generous and supportive of any requests that we've had to expand our investment in health and safety, and I don't anticipate that being a problem. Where there's safety associations involved, and you will know this, Sandra, perhaps not everyone else will, where there are safety associations involved, we actually charge the employers within that industry code with the funding required for that safety association. So we threw up on the average premium rate, we just threw up what the element is at the board level across all industries. But not all industries actually pay for those safety associations. It's only the only industries that have safety associations that pay into that. So I'm not sure I answered your question.
You know, I'm just considering further outside the box thinking, because I think you guys are on that path now, and I'm just putting it out there for consideration.
Okay, thanks.
Carolyn, do we have an online question? Not yet.
Hi, my name is Diane Hebert, and I'm with Evraz Wasco Pipe Protection Corporation. We are a new manufacturer in town on Armour Road. I came here in January, and our WCB number was already assigned to us by somebody who's no longer with us. And I'm just realizing now that we may have been put in the wrong industry. So who would I talk to about reviewing that?
See Jennifer back there? Or Scott? Either one of those people can help you out.
Okay, thank you.
Scott, I know you raised your hand, but raise it again so the lady knows who you are. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. All right. Anything online, Carolyn? Okay. Please.
Hi, I'm Jan McClellan-Folk from Alliance Energy, and I just have a question from an employer perspective. It affects the rating from an employer point of view. You mentioned that you've looked at time loss for medical appointments, and you've addressed it in the standard program for setting up the experience rating. Have you contemplated not having medical appointments as a time loss for everybody, not just making it a special circumstance?
Yes, we have. Phil, I don't know if you probably don't have a microphone here, but we're undertaking, come up here, Phil, maybe. So we're actually undertaking a review of that whole issue. So what I was sharing with you today, we're just the way we're going to apply this with respect to the experience rating program. But we understand that that also has an impact, these medical-only payment, or appointments, that get counted as time loss claim, also potentially can impact an employer's ability to actually bid on contracts. And so Phil has done some work, and he's going to give you an update in terms of where we are. So this is Phil Germain, our Vice President of Prevention and Employer Services.
Good morning, everyone. As Peter has pointed out, we have looked at that issue all through the discussions. At the same time, we're looking at the changes proposed by the Experience Rating Committee. We recognize that this change could have a positive impact across all employers. I'm going to confirm this for you, but I believe all medical-only claims will be coded as no time loss in the system. It might not happen immediately, but because there could be some data cleanup, our system doesn't allow us to just switch time loss and no time loss. As soon as there's, as Peter had pointed out, as soon as there is time loss for any reason, where we pay somebody, to attend a medical appointment, our system automatically switches it to a time loss. But our data governance folks can go in and switch it back to a no time loss. So our intent is when you get your reports, they will medical only payment, time loss with medical only appointments only will end up showing as no time loss on your reports for all employers.
Well, we'd appreciate that very much because it does affect us and affects you. I have one more question. I hope that's okay.
For sure.
Of course, last year, it was in the media and everything, there was a significant surplus, and the year before, and we want to thank you for giving it back to the employers. In the future, obviously that's not anticipated, or else the rates would be way, way down more than you have. Is there a more automatic process than advocacy and things like that with WCB to get the surplus back to the employers, or how do you see that?
So I guess I'll take a shot at this, Gord. There's a couple of things. So first of all, the excess surplus in no way actually impacts the premium rates. So you will never see premium rates going down because we have excess surplus. The excess surplus that we've had have been 100% generated from the returns, excess returns on our investment portfolio that pushed us over our funding threshold. So today, our funding policy calls for us maintaining a balance of between 5 and 20% above what our funded liability is in our injury fund. And it says that if we break 122% at the board's discretion, the board can return that money to employers over a period not exceeding 5 years. So right in our policy today, there is, I think, clearly marked out what happens. So if we fall below 103%, we're now going to build something back in the premium rate to get us back up to 105. If we go up to 122, the board will decide how much we return to bring us back down to 120%. In the last 2 years, the board has decided to pay 100% of that amount out, and so for 2016, we've issued one particular payment this summer, and the other one will go out in December to return the excess surplus from 2015. The board has asked us to undertake a review of that funding policy, and we're in the process of drafting a discussion paper that we will be sending out to employers and our other stakeholders for comment and input in terms of what we may be proposing in terms of changes to that particular funding policy. So we had the start of all of this was an asset liability study that was done a couple of years ago. And the actuary who did that study recommended that we actually have a look at that funding policy and consider some changes to it. So Ann Schultz, our CFO, and I are working together to get this discussion paper out, and Ann, our hope is to have that available mid-December. So we'll be emailing that out, posting it on our website, so stay tuned for that, and we'd sure appreciate some feedback from employers on that. And that will perhaps clarify as well what we do when we enter into situations where we have excess surplus. Gordon, did you want to add anything?
Can't add anything to that.
Thank you. We look forward to being able to provide the input, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
And we thank you for acknowledging the fact that the surplus was returned to employers, so thank you for that.
Reed Basin from Brant. I'm not sure, maybe this isn't the right time to ask this question. Maybe it's the wrong, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I'm at a blank here. But talking about the speed of claims, right now, just for example, I know we don't always talk and want to talk about specific claims, so obviously no names, no anything, but about the actual process. We have a claim right now within our work. It's related to a heart condition. It was one of our supervisors doing something at his desk. Because the symptoms happened at work, we have to go through the process with the WCB first, but we're on like 99.9% positive that the claim will be denied by the WCB. The gentleman in question's been off for a little while, can't do anything from our short-term benefits side of things until we get an answer back from your folks. Is there a way to speed up that process for the employee? Sorry, and like I said, I don't need an answer, but if you could point me in the right direction.
Yeah. So Reed, Mick Williams at the back of the room is the guy to talk to there.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Nothing, I see nothing. Anything online, Carolyn? With that then, I say thank you.
I just have one request. Okay. So you've seen the dates for our regional meetings, and you'll pick up the flyer on the way out. Please do your level best to attend one of those meetings, and please bring many of your friends with you. We really need to have as many employers educated and informed about what's going to happen to them in 2018 as we possibly can. And when it comes to your industry-specific meetings, we really would appreciate you helping us spread the word. I know we're partnering with the PA Chamber to help us spread the word out into the PA community to try and get as many folks attend the PA meetings. We'll be reaching out to other organizations like that to help us promote the events as well. So tell your friends, tell your relatives, whoever, and we hope to see you at the regional and industry-specific meetings.
One more thing before we leave, it's always good, worthwhile repeating, and that is with regards to employers, 87% of employers have achieved mission zero. 0 injuries, 0 fatalities, 0 suffering. So congratulations to you. And with that, I guess we will close for the morning. Safe drive home, and again, thank you very much for coming out this morning.
Yes, thank you.